Either you ignore the source material and everyone's pissed, or you don't ignore the source material and everyone's pissed. Wow, that's a no-win situation. That's like when your girlfriend goes, fine. What's up, guys? Welcome to Boss Level 8, where we make fun of movie critics. We just watched Tomb Raider, and we're very curious as to what movie critic Rodrigo Perez has to say. I have my thoughts on what he's gonna say immediately, because no one loves a video game movie. I hope this ends with, fuck it, it was better than Super Mario Brothers, but I feel like it won't. Unexceptionally directed by Roar Uthaug, Norwegian hit The Wave. Unexceptionally, like immediately. This movie, based on a video game, is not exceptional. That doesn't mean it was bad. Immediately, for a video game movie, that does not mean it's bad. Because there's never even been close to exceptional. World of Warcraft was close, but you know, how could it not be? It was a 2-hour cutscene. Tomb Raider is superficial even for a mainstream tentpole. Clumsily and unpersuasively put together and tests and breaks suspension of disbelief at every turn. As far as the breaking suspension of belief and disbelief, it should. If everything that happened in this movie was believable, I would have probably walked out and been like, that's not Tomb Raider. That bar was set by a video game and not a movie. And let's be honest, the only thing I actually believed in this movie was Alicia Vikander's body standard. I didn't believe that in the old one. No one's got that Angelina Jolie body. And no one has triangle tits. So no matter what, this was more believable on that. First and foremost, Tomb Raider wants it both ways. Gritty and realistic, while balancing supernatural nonsense and preposterous action adventures. It's not the first time. Indiana Jones did that. If I'm not mistaken, there was some tomb raiding in that too. No triangle tits though. I'm never gonna leave that, just so you know. If you don't want more triangle tits jokes, you can just leave the video now. On the other hand, if you like triangle tits and want more triangle tit jokes, hit that subscribe button. The film tries to make the case that Croft, living on what are laughably meant to be the chaotic streets of London as a bike courier and moonlighting as an MMA wannabe at night, is enough to transform her into Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne? Jason Bourne did spy shit, not tomb raiding. Yeah, that's completely different. Like, you should have said Indiana Jones. It would have been a much better analogy. Like, she didn't do anything Bourne-like. At all. Transform her into Jason Bourne in the second half of the picture, and this just never, ever remotely convinces. Actually, I felt like it's much better than when they take a movie and someone isn't good at anything, and then all of a sudden they're good at things. In this one, it actually explained it, like, why is she good with the bow? This is why. Why is she in shape? This is why. Why can she fight? This is why. Why doesn't she have triangle boobs? Because no one does. And why am I good at comedy?
You're not.
Exactly. Triangle boobs. Tomb Raider eventually converts to the action-adventure film it's wanted to be from the start. Oh, you gotta start it. Otherwise you have the Drake song, Now We're Here. Now we're here. Now the whole team here. Now the whole team fucking here. I don't know, Drake. I feel like something's missing. Yeah, it got jingly because you don't have the hardship at the beginning of it. Everything that has come before feels like an obligation to set up a credible world that still feels impressively far-fetched and preposterous and very akin to video games. Let's move on. What do you want? The whole plot involves someone who's like super loaded but won't sign the paper to stay super loaded. Like that's far-fetched by itself. While quite not the Mummy, well, not quite that sucks to say. Wow. I'll read it that way, fine. While quite not the Mummy level of ridiculous, Tomb Raider still feels indebted to goofy, supernatural, impossible action movies of the 90s, replete with corny dialogue, bad CG, and incredible but ultimately outlandish stunts. Yup. I don't know what you wanted. You just described like everything that you should walk into this movie wanting. Except the bad CG. The CG was pretty good. But people were actually worried it wasn't gonna be as good as the Angelina Jolie one. I'm not saying it's better or good or even worse. I'm just saying that the Angelina Jolie one had all of the stuff that you just described. So if they were worried it wasn't gonna be as good as that, then that's what everyone walked in wanting. At the end of the day, Tomb Raider is run-of-the-mill, unimaginative, and forgettable despite Vikander's best efforts convey indomitable true grit. Walton Goggins stars as the one-note bad guy. I feel like run-of-the-mill and unimaginative might be because this story's been told since there were triangle boobs. Good God. What do you want? Anytime there's something we already know, it's gonna be unimaginative and run-of-the-mill because we already know it. Also, every fucking story's been told. We're just telling them differently. When we reboot things, the only difference most of the time is that there's a cell phone instead of no phone. Imagine Dragons has remade the same song 6 times and we all eat that shit up because it sounds familiar. It's easy to denounce and demonize Hollywood. You're damn right. The big bad corporate evil that sucks the soul out of the cinematic arts. But perhaps the cost of careless ambition, even opportunism, should be considered too. Yes. I love how we act like movies were always like the high brow of art. It was escapism. Most of it's been escapism. We had to change film to make it highbrow. We literally started with a movie of a train, specifically to troll people and have them scared that they might get hit by a train. And we moved on to things like Road to Bali. Have you ever seen fucking Road to Bali? Good Christ. Entertainment is part of movies. Just be entertained or leave. So yes, I agree with you, we should be considering those things. After all, perhaps Hollywood is just the delivery mechanism, and it's you, exceptional foreign film actress, and you, promising up-and-coming foreign film director, who can choose and forge your own destiny. No. No. You have to work your way to choosing and forming your own destiny. And even then, it's difficult to do. There are people who can choose roles, there are people who can choose movies, but unless you have someone going, I will give you the money for that, it probably won't happen. For Christ's sake, women can't even get paid the same amount. And we just had to fire a dude and are about to change an entire company's name because of the fact that he's a douche. And Harvey Weinstein being a douche is the reason he was able to do all the things that he actually wanted to do, which is bad. Because perhaps Tomb Raider on paper is a good career opportunity for Uthaug and Vikander, usually known for smarter fare like Ex Machina and A Royal Affair. But did anyone actually read the script of this dud not worthy of the Oscar-winning actress, or was her agent that convincing? Just because you are up for an Oscar at some point doesn't mean everything that you do next should be an opportunity to win an Oscar. Exhibit A, the only exhibit I need, Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. Can we get a clip up here of Tom Cruise dancing at the end of Tropic Thunder? Because you don't have to play the music, I just want to prove my fucking point. More of an adaptation of the Tomb Raider video games than a remake of the Angelina Jolie starring movies. The movie is loyal to the game lore, but fidelity to source material ultimately means nothing when the actual working materials you're working with are banally made. Man, can't win that. Either you ignore the source material and everyone's pissed, or you don't ignore the source material and everyone's pissed? Wow, that's a no-win situation. That's like when your girlfriend goes, fine. Tomb Raider even inelegantly teases a sequel with a coda that sets up Croft, who's been pistol-free for the whole movie, to become a gun-toting badass. For the sake of cinemagoers who would like to spend more time with Alicia Vikander in more worthwhile and thoughtful material, we'll take a hard pass. And for everyone else who went to a Tomb Raider movie in the hopes that they would see Tomb Raider, I guess they won't take a hard pass because they wanted to see Tomb Raider? And not an Oscar-winning film? I guess? I know there were no triangle boobs, but you can't help but think it's pretty great when you finally see the braid in the double gun situation. I walked out of that movie going, the only thing that was missing was the triangle boobs and her shooting dogs, but PETA's not gonna have that. So what did you guys think of this review of Tomb Raider and the movie Tomb Raider if you went and saw it? I personally think this review is just dumb. It just misses the mark. You went in to see Tomb Raider, you got Tomb Raider. It's not great, it's just a fun Tomb Raider movie. What do you want? I don't get it. But I'd love to hear what you have to say. Let us know in the comments. If it's your first time here, definitely hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell right next to it. And until we see you next time, geek out and game on.